Hi, so let us see the concept of an riser design. So, as earlier we discussed that riser is to be designed for a purpose to fill the shrinkage defect or the shrinkage gap to get the actual size of your component. So, during the solidification, what will happen? Uh, the surface of a casting will be getting shrink and it will generate a gap between the surface wall of your mold and the surface of your casting. So to get fill that gap, we required a molten metal and that should be stored into some space. So that space is called as an riser. So once the gap will generated, the molten metal present in the riser will again try to flow in that gap and you will get a very less shrinkage defect. So if this is a requirement, then what should be the condition to achieve that? So in this case, if we consider the casting should be get cooled first than the riser, whatever the molten metal present in the riser. So here, if the molten metal present in the this cavity, if it gets cool first and then the riser molten metal gets cool, then and then only you can achieve this condition. So if you see the cooling rate of the casting, or the cooling characteristic, whatever the volume of molten metal present in this space, actually the heat will be carried by the molten metal. So you have to take a volume of this molten metal and the the heat will be dissipated to the surrounding, which will be depending upon the surface area of your mold or the surface area of the casting. So you can write down that the surface area of casting should be greater than the surface area of the riser. Then and then only you can uh, say that the casting space is getting cooled than the riser. So you can take a cooling characteristic of the casting, that is given as a surface area of the casting divided by volume of an casting. So this ratios defines the cooling rate of your casting, and we are interested to find out the cooling rate because the casting space should be get cool first than the riser, uh, whatever the molten metal present in the riser space. So you can take ratio of surface area of to the volume of a casting. It should be greater than the surface area to the volume ratio of an riser. So if above condition is satisfied, then the riser will be designed according to our condition. So that is, the casting will be solidified earlier than the riser. And again, a Cornelius rule defines the solidification time of a casting. He gives an equation that solidification time is equal to C bracket volume to the surface area ratio raised to 2 square, where Ts is the solidification time, C is the mold constant, V is the volume of your metal present into that space, and another is an surface area of your cavity or surface area of the molten present. So what solidification, why there is need to find out the solidification time? So as we know that, uh, if you know the solidification time of the casting and the solidification time of an riser, you can achieve our condition, that is casting should get cool earlier than the riser. If your solidification of riser is solidification time of your riser is high, then and then only is high than the casting, then you can achieve our condition. So in this case, the riser should be designed in such a way that your solidification time of an riser should be more than the solidification time of an casting. So solidification time of an casting is can be also written as C is equal to 1 divided by surface area to the volume ratio. And so if the what is our requirement, that solidification time of a of a riser should be more. So if the surface area to the volume ratio of your riser is less, then solidification time of the riser will be more. So now you have to design a riser shape in such a way that the surface area to the volume ratio should be less. So you can take different shape to make a riser. So you can use sphere shape, you can use cylindrical shape, you can use rectangular shape, or you can use square shape. But from this shape, which shape has a surface area to volume ratio is less, so that your riser space can get cool later on, that is compared to your casting. So if you take a sphere shape, so sphere shape has very less surface area to the volume ratio, but why don't we use a sphere shape rather than all this cylindrical shape, or why generally we use a cylindrical shape only instead of a sphere shape? So here is the reason. So as uh, this circular shape will come in a contact with your mold space first, that is here sand will be present. So here you can see the figure. So when you pour a molten metal into this cavity, it will the cavity will be getting filled first, then this riser area will be getting filled. So here you will find out that as a surface area of your riser is more in a contact with the surrounding sand, so what it will do, whatever the heat present in this volume, it will try to transfer to the surrounding. So it will be getting transfer equally, and which material will be going to be solidified first, which is present to the circumference of this sphere. So it gets solidified, and the whole circumference will be getting solidified, and the molten metal will be present at the center. So what is our condition? That it should fill the gap, molten metal should fill the gap which is generated due to this shrinkage, or it should be compensate the shrinkage gap. So we can't, if the molten metal is now not having a space to flow into this gap, because it has been solidified the whole space around to it. So due to this reason, even the surface area to volume ratio of sphere is more, but due to this practical condition, you can't design your riser of a sphere shape. Remember, it is a very important concept. So generally, we use a cylindrical shape to make a riser. So wherever you will be coming across to your casting component, your riser will be always designed by using a cylindrical shape. So in this case, what happen? Uh, it has a surface area to volume ratio is also less, uh, and in this case, this part is present, or this surface area is in a contact with the surrounding sand. So this molten metal which is present to this vertical surface and horizontal surface, it will get cool first, and it will there will be a path will be remain to flow a molten metal present into this at the centroid of the cylinder. So it has a path to get fill this gap or to compensate it. So we use a cylindrical shape to make a riser. So further, if you see, there are two types of an riser. One is an side riser and another is an top riser. So this is a top riser and this is a side riser. So let us see that which how to design this side riser and top riser. As we require that surface area to volume ratio of riser should be less, then and then only the solidification time of your riser will be more, and you can achieve the directional solidification. This is our main condition. So in exam many times they used to ask to compare the side riser and top riser, or to how to design a side riser. So to achieve the condition that uh, here you can see that for minimum surface area to volume ratio, D should be equal to H. So this is our aim at the last. If you achieve surface area to volume ratio very less, then what should be the dimension of the riser? So here to get that, your diameter of the riser, that is this, should be equal to the height of the riser. So if this dimension you get, then you can say that your solidification time will be more. So how they have proved this? This is given. So A is an surface area of this riser. So you have to consider the whole cylinder now. So surface area, surface area for this cylinder, that is this one, for this cylinder, surface area will be what? You have to take the area of circle which is at the top and which is at the bottom, and the circumference area of the cylinder. So if you add all this, you will be getting the surface area of the cylinder. So what we can write down surface area for this cylinder, uh, 2 times pi by 4 d square, that is area of circle 2 times you have to take, one which will be at the top, one will be at the bottom. So 2 times pi by 4 d square plus pi d h. So pi d is circumference, and if you multiply the h, you will be getting circumference area. Then what will be the volume? Volume we can take it as an, if you multiply the circle area with the height, you will be getting the volume. So circle area is what? Pi by 4 d square into height. So you will be getting the volume of the cylinder. So here we can write down in equation first. You can write down this value as in what? H is equal to V into pi by 4 by pi d square. So you can write down uh, this equation in this manner, that is H is equal to 4V divided by pi d square. So these terms will get towards the left side, and towards the right you will be getting H. So put this H in the first equation. So you can write down this equation what? A, that is surface area, which is equal to 2 into pi by 4 d square plus pi d will remain same, and what is the H value? H value is pi by 4V divided by pi d square. So you can write down this term here. Further you can cancel this 5, then here d will be getting cancelled, here d square 1d will get cancelled, here 2 will get cancelled, and here 2 will remain. So you can write down surface area pi by 2 d square plus 4vd. So here we can change the surface area of your cylinder, but as the volume is constant, so we have to differentiate this area with respect to d, because we are interested to find out the value of that is dimension of your riser, that is d, and what should be d and h, to get a minimum surface to minimum the ratio of surface area to the volume. So as volume is constant, you differentiate this area with respect to d. So further if you differentiate, you what we can write down this d square as an 2d plus, here volume is constant, so 4v you take it out from bracket. So derivative of 1 by d will be what with respect to d? You can write down this as an minus 1 d square. So again 2 will be get cancelled. Here you can write down, after differentiating the area, the value will be pi d minus 4v divided by d square. So for minimum surface area you have to equate this term with 0. So if you equate it, you can write down that pi d is equal to, now this term will be getting towards the left side, and you can write down this minus will become plus, and pi d will be equal to 4v upon d square. You can put the value of v is what, pi by 4 d square h. After putting this, you need to solve it. So here pi will get cancelled, this one, then 4 will get cancelled, d square will get cancelled. What remains final? D is equal to h. So to achieve a minimum surface area to volume ratio, the diameter of riser should be equal to the height of the riser. So this condition is used for side riser. Now let us see for top riser. So in this case, in top riser, it will be placed at the top of your cavity. Here what change you will find out then. Now in this case also the same concept will be used, as we required a minimum surface area to volume ratio of an riser. So here in previous case we will find out that the surface area of the cylinder we have taken the circle as a 2 time, that circle area as a 2 time, and 1 time as an circumference of a cylinder. But in this case only one surface area of a circle is exposed to the surrounding. So what will be the surface area of the cylinder in this case? So surface area of a top riser in this case will be pi by 4 d square, that is area of a circle, plus pi dh, that is circumference area of the cylinder. We have taken only single surface area of a circle, as only one surface area of a circle comes in contact with the surrounding. So that is the change. So remaining, use the same concept. So put all the values, and you will be getting what ratio as in what, to get the minimum surface area to the volume ratio of riser. What will be the dimension of riser? D is equal to 2 times the height. So you have to take this dimension to get the minimum surface area to the volume ratio for the top riser. So above is an optimum condition for getting surface area to the volume ratio, where for top riser you remember that D should be equal to 2h. For the side riser, D should be equal to h. So even in problem numerical you will see that sometimes they will not define whether it is top riser or side riser, but according to this condition, that is D is equal to 2h, you can consider that if D is equal to 2h, then it is a top riser. If they are given that D is equal to h, then you have to consider it as a side riser. So this was all related to riser. I think we'll discuss a numerical related to this concept at the end of this theory. So in next lecture we'll see types of gate, or what is gate. Thank you.